The headlines. Police recovers maize stolen from Senate chamber. President of the Senate commends lawmakers for standing against invasion of Senate. Reactions trail thugs' invasion of Senate. And in sports, Kenya backs Morocco bid for FIFA 2026 World Cup bid. There's and many more in a moment. I am Cynthia Agbo with the news on Television Nigerian. The police has recovered the Senate maize that was earlier stolen by suspected thugs who disrupted plenary session at the upper chamber of the National Assembly. In a statement in Abuja, the force Deputy Public Relations Officer Aremu Adeniran revealed that barely 24 hours after the hoodlums made their way with the maize, the object was found under a bridge at the entrance of the Federal Capital Territory. Lawmakers at the Red Chamber had condemned the hijacking of the maize, describing it as an act of treason. They said the invasion of the Senate during plenary was an attempt to use force in overthrowing a branch of the government. President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, has commended the leadership and all members of the Senate for standing up in defense of democracy and the rule of law. Saraki hailed the lawmakers for their decision to defy those who planned an attack on the red chambers of the National Assembly in which the maize was forcefully taken away. Saraki disclosed this through his spokesman, Yusuf Oloniyan, at the sideline of the spring meeting of the World Bank / International Monetary Fund IMF in Washington. He lauded the swift reaction by the leadership and members of the House of Representatives in demonstrating their solidarity with the Red Chamber, thereby sending a strong signal that enemies of democracy and those who want to undermine the legislature will be resisted by all parliamentarians. Reactions are now trailing the recent invasion of the Senate's plenary and stealing of maize by hoodlums on Wednesday. The Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, HURIWA, described disruption of Senate sitting as an attack on democracy and collective will of the Nigerian people. Speaking with journalists on the issue, the National Coordinator Emmanuel Wobiko called for immediate arrest and prosecution of anyone connected with the fracas. Still ahead, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar condemns theft of maize from Senate. Bayelsa government decries poor oil derivation for Niger Delta states. And in sports, Kenya supports Morocco for 2026 FIFA World Cup. To stay with us.
Nigerians have tested political parties, religion and age. It is time to get a bridge builder to heal the wounds. Hassan Dan Kwambo. Under your watch as Executive Governor of Gombe State, you have been able to manage the state's resources in view of the numerous projects so far completed and the low statutory federal allocations accruable to the state. With your landmark achievements in healthcare, youth employment, women empowerment, road infrastructure, pipe-borne water, security, education, and agricultural development, we are sure of a better Nigeria. 2019 is not about power or change. Rather, it is about Dan Kwambo to replicate his humility and servant leadership. Dan Kwambo, Nigeria. Nigeria, Dan Kwambo.
Thanks for staying tuned. The former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has condemned the invasion of the Senate chamber by hoodlums and the cutting away of the maize, the symbol of authority. Reacting to the incident in a statement from his media office in Abuja on Wednesday, Atiku described the attack as a dangerous precedent and an assault on Nigeria's democracy by anti-democratic elements. The former vice president noted that it was inconceivable that hoodlums could force their way into the Senate and take away the maize. Governor Sirike Dixon of Bayelsa State has claimed that the oil-producing states in the country are not getting the complete 13% derivation revenue from oil production as proved provided by the Constitution. The governor said that in spite of the express provisions of the Constitution for the disbursement of 13% to the producing state, those entrusted with responsibility have not ensured effective implementation of the Derivation Act. Dixon, who said that successive government had violated the 13% Derivation Act, called for the issue to be addressed without delay. The governor's position is contained in a statement on Wednesday by his special advisor on media relations, Fidelis Suriwe. Moving on to sports, Kenya has joined the ranks of African nations back in Morocco's bid to host the 2026 World Cup. The North African country is hoping to become the second African country to host the World Cup after South Africa in 2010. But faces a stiff challenge from a joint Canada-Mexico-US bid when the vote is held in Moscow at the FIFA Congress on June 13. Kenya Football Federation Chief Nick Wendwe says his country will be firmly behind Morocco's bid for the 2026 World Cup, since the whole of Africa is for Morocco. The North African country has already received backing from many African countries, including South Africa, Egypt, Nigeria, Tunisia, and Ghana, while others include France, Russia, and Iraq have expressed their support. And on the foreign scene, United States Ambassador to United Nations Nikki Haley has shot back at a White House aide who suggested that confusion had led her to mistakenly announce fresh sanctions on Russia. In a test response in a statement to the news, Haley had fired back at the aide, saying, "I don't get confused." She also said that new U.S. sanctions on Russia would be announced next week by U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, but the White House said no such decision had been made. President Donald Trump Assistant for Economic Policy Larry Kudlow told reporters that Haley got ahead of the curve with her announcement of sanctions on Russia over an alleged chemical attack by President Bashar al-Assad force in Syria. And that's the PM News on Television Nigeria, and a look at the major headlines. Police recovers maize stolen from Senate chamber. President of the Senate commends lawmakers for standing against invasion of Senate. Reactions trail talks invasion on Senate. And in sports, Kenya backs Morocco bid for FIFA 2026 World Cup bid. Remember, frustration means you are on the verge of a breakthrough. Confusion can mean you are about to learn something. Expect the breakthrough and expect to learn. I am Cynthia, but you have yourself a pleasant day ahead.